Hello, 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 Love Revolution beloveds. Y'all, every single time I get to do one of these interviews, I am so excited because the world is full of these brilliant, amazing, heart-centered, love-centered, just these people who say, I want to make the world a better place. And today, we have a phenomenal guest, Laura Cross, and she's going to be talking to us about her TV show, which is Mindful Mondays. She has an entire business, which is White Sands Self-Care. Everything that she does is from this holistic approach. And it's also this beautiful, although she doesn't necessarily use this word, but I will say it's from this idea of interconnection. And it goes back to 8 billion people loving 8 billion people, one heart at a time. So, Laura, welcome, welcome, welcome. We are delighted that you're here. Thank you so much for being here.
Thank you. I love how you put that 8 billion people loving 8 billion people one heart at a time because it's true.
Yeah,
It is
that's
it's so true.
That's our mission. That's our mission. It's on the website. I say it like in networking. If somebody says, tell us who, I'm in one particular networking group, and it's always tell us, in a sentence who you are. And I always say, Love Revolution, 8 billion people loving 8 billion people, one heart at a time, because that's what it's all about. And that's what you're all about. And so you have a lot of different facets to your business and a lot of different ways that you do that. So can you give folks an overview of, the self-care business, the Mindful Mondays, releasing the toxins, all of that?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, for me, it's been a journey, and I think that's where all the entrepreneurships come from, right? Is because we've all been through something. For me, I lost my husband when he was 36,
Mm,
almost 21 years ago. So I
mm,
learned how important self-care is and taking care of yourself. Because if you're that caregiver person, you're always helping others, you're constantly pouring out. But if you don't pour in,
mm,
it's hard to really truly help and support people.
mm.
And so all of that kind of just morphed. I started with travel, but I love self-care and I'm all about mindfulness and self-care because once I learned you had to put yourself first, much like the oxygen mask, if people are familiar with, putting it on first because you can't help people if you're passed out. And the mindfulness. So when I started putting all of that together, I wanted to bring more awareness to other people. And I wanted people to have a space that is judgment free and
Mm.
it's holistic because there is a lot we can do. We have a lot of control of what we can do over our own health and our own situation. And so I wanted to be able to provide education, resources, connection, and collaboration. I'm not, it's not about competition. I can't disagree
Right.
with that more.
Yeah.
I've gone through the school and the SWOT analysis. People want to know who's your competition. I'm like, I don't have competition.
Yeah.
I am
I agree.
uniquely me. You either resonate with me or you don't.
Yes.
I,
Yes.
I think we can do
Yes.
more together. And
Yes.
I think we can do it holistically. So it's about supporting people and helping people get to a healthier place in life,
Yes.
feel supported, not to feel judged. And so that's one of the reasons why I had created Mindful Mondays. It was funny because it kind of started out with doing interviews like you're doing, right? Because I just think
Uh-huh.
when people could hear someone's story, what they've gone through, and how they can help others, you can resonate better with them
That's
than
right.
seeing this profile picture. This is what I do, connect with me. And everyone kept calling it a podcast. And then I got offered the TV spot. Plus, I thought, why not? So
Exactly. So
I
talk
launched
a little
Mindful
bit
Mondays.
about the TV spot because yeah, same thing. Like people call this a podcast, I call it an interview series, or semantics don't really matter so much, except for I do want to be exacting. And it seems to me that from a semantics standpoint, that TV show is like this huge jump in elevation in terms of, commitment and the process you go through and the equipment that you need and the caliber of guest, all of that. So, can you talk a little bit about that?
Yeah, it's a little different level. My show is on E360 TV. Love that platform. So they stream to through Roku, Amazon Fire, Apple, Android, iOS, web, LG and Samsung now. I stream it myself to LinkedIn and YouTube. So it is on there. But it's just like having a television show. It is a television show. You are paying for airtime and you are paying for that spot. So regardless, every Monday at 1 o'clock, that show is going to go on. If
Wow.
it doesn't go on, you risk losing your viewers. We're
Right.
regulated by FCC, so we do have to, keep in mind some of the things that we do. Or when I have people pay to be on that spot, so I just have to say this is a sponsored appearance because you have to cover, yourself. So it's
Yes.
a little different. and it's evergreen marketing because it's so I love the fact that it's my content and the guest content. So
Yes.
if
Okay.
I ever decided not to have the TV show, it can all go with me. But as long as I'm there and it's on there, it's like Netflix. People can dial me up from season one, episode one. They can find you by the genre. They can find you by the title, the person. It's like a whole different level. And we
Yeah.
use recording studios. So the
Okay.
platforms that are more like recording studios, we don't use, Zoom and stuff like that. We use ones and they actually come with teleprompters. Um, there's
Wow.
there's stuff in it because we want everything to be kind of like a 1080 HP. We tell people it's like you want to show up as your best self because people could be watching you on a 65-inch or a 100-inch TV screen. It's not always a small
Right.
screen. So it
Right.
is a different level.
Oh, that's phenomenal. That's phenomenal. And so how do you get your guests? But also I don't want to get too far away from the crux of what you're doing.
Mhm.
So how do you get your guests? And then ultimately what is it that you're wanting to achieve?
So I started out on there's a site called Matchmaker, and it's not a dating app. It's for people that are on podcasts and stuff, which people are used to podcasts, so they're not used to that. So there is a charge because we're paying for airtime. We do the snippets, we do all the production, and it's evergreen marketing. Plus, my guest has the opportunity of having their own ad spot run where it can be seen every time someone sees the episode. So
Oh,
it's a little bit different level. After that ran its course, and the more guests that I started to have, the more people loved it, the more I started getting connected with people. So sometimes in networking groups, but most of it's from referrals now.
okay. Okay.
Yeah,
Excellent. Excellent.
most of it's from referrals. For me, the space is, like I said, about treating people as the decent human beings they should be treated as, not judging them. Mindfulness, self-care. Everybody calls it woo-woo. I'm like, it is more than just woo-woo. It's business, it's physical, it's emotional, it's spiritual. If you are off in one area of your life, you are off.
Yes. Yes.
Yeah.
Exactly.
And if
Exactly.
you're a solopreneur and you are wearing all the hats,
Yes.
I will guarantee you there's something either in business or a system or something that's stressing you out. So I can have guest speakers on that are in the business. Maybe they're into branding, marketing, and maybe they can provide that help or connection for somebody. Some of them, I have a lot of them that are in the woo woo. People call it woo. I love it. Okay. We're
Yeah.
all energy, it's all vibration frequencies. People are
Right.
entitled to believe in what they want to believe in.
Yes.
And
Yes.
so there's no judgment there. I love having different perspectives on. I don't have to agree with it. People that watch don't have to agree with it. Maybe that guest is not for you. There'll be another one. But
Right.
that's the fun thing about it. We're all entitled to our different perspectives. And so
Right.
I love getting the different perspectives on it because it's going to
Yeah.
resonate with somebody.
Yeah, yeah. I just said this to somebody yesterday. Somebody said, I don't want to talk politics. I don't want to discuss politics. And I said, for me, politics at their root are policies. So I will discuss policies. I don't often discuss politicians, but I will discuss policies. And it gives people a framework from a leading with love perspective on how to have some of these conversations. And my Mr. and I just got back from a cruise, so it was a 9-night cruise. And one of the things we reflected on is number one, the diversity of the people on the ship was absolutely beautiful. I mean, I don't know how many different languages I even heard. It was just absolutely beautiful. And again, it was a 9-night cruise. In 9 nights, we did not hear one person have one crossword to another person. Nothing. Like nobody was, wasted in the bar and being ugly. Nobody was ugly to a staff person, a service person. Like it just was 9 nights of in the words that I would use through Martin Luther King is let's look at this microcosm of the beloved community. And that's what you're doing, Laura, is you
Yeah.
are creating these opportunities, but yours are global because you're in, where do you live?
I'm in Missouri. So I'm in Fairgrove, Missouri, but I have guests on from Australia, from New Zealand, Spain,
Yeah.
Germany, Netherlands, Canada. I- It's especially when you're doing energy work and healing, there's a lot of things like I do the AO voice scan for people. I can do it for people in Italy. I can help identify things that are going on and I don't have to be, in their backyard. And that when there's other people that are like-hearted or like-minded, they're not always in your backyard.
That's
And
right.
because of technology and the things that we have today, we can really connect. One of the ladies in one of the groups, I've connected with her a lot in the Diamond Beauties group. And, we do these Mrs. Potts things. Well, I happen to be going back to Colorado to stay with my mom. And guess what? She was in Denver at the time. So I was like, cool, let's have lunch. So
Oh,
I got to see her, in person. And, you get to know these people. And I've been in travel for over 18 years. I have a long live list. I don't do bucket lists. I have a live list. I have a long live list of
wow.
things I want to go. And now I have places that say, hey, when you come down to Australia, you're always welcome. Come here. I got people now I can go visit. I mean, just how cool is that? You get to
Right.
experience a different culture, different people. I've had them on from the Dominican Republic, South
Beautiful.
Africa. It doesn't matter because we're all of the like-minded, like-hearted people. We're all trying to help people live healthier, happier lives,
Yes. Yes.
give them avenues, no, depending on where they're stuck and what that person specializes in.
Yes.
But I'll guarantee you that there is someone out there going through something similar that can relate. I'm not going to say understand because you're not that person, you're not in their skin, but they can relate
Mhm.
to what you're or what something similar that we're going through, and more than likely they can help.
So when your audience like if an audience member says or even a friend says or you realize that there's one aspect of somebody's life that's off, like you were saying, if one aspect is off, then we're off.
Mhm.
Then what are your next steps with those people? Like, do you say here's a specific episode, or do you recommend the I don't is it are
So
you
I build a community outside the show. I build a community, which is the White Sands Self-Care Community. It's on Facebook. I invite anybody to join there. It's not this is my site, you can't do this. I have people on there. I invite them to introduce themselves of who they are, what they do. If they have shows, retreats, whatever they have coming up, put it up there because again, it's about providing those resources, educations, and tools. I could have 1,000 different self-care people on. Someone's going to resonate. Might hear the same thing 5 different times from 5 different people, maybe slightly different, but maybe the timing just wasn't right or it didn't sound right from that person. We're all trying to get people to the same place.
yeah.
It's just different. So I love building that community. So when I come across somebody that's struggling, and when I know I have had that conversation with somebody, I'll say, hey, I have someone that might be able to help. Would you like to be introduced to them? I'll introduce them. They can take it, from there. I love being able to connect people. And if they're in those communities and they've seen them, they can connect with them on their own, as well too.
Beautiful. That's a great way to connect. That's a great way to connect.
Yeah.
I'm always curious why somebody names their organization, what they name it. So would you still share the story behind White Sands?
Sure. And it's not for White Sands, New Mexico. After my husband passed away in 2004, I went into travel. I am still a travel agent, so I am White Sands Premier Travel.
Oh,
And so when you do the travel, you have to figure out what you're going to name your company. My parents used to always take a cruise every year on their anniversary, which was Valentine's Day, and it would normally be in the Caribbean and it would be on a cruise. And my mom loved the White Sands beaches of St. Thomas. Now,
uh-huh.
I hadn't been there yet, but she kept telling me about the White Sands beaches. So she said, what about White Sands? And so
Love it.
that's where White Sands came from. It's not from New Mexico. I've always loved traveling. I will tell people, I said, traveling from the military and traveling on your own are two different things.
Yes, yes, yes,
I've had people from the Navy, it's like, I don't want to be on any more boats. I'm like, okay, a cruise is a whole different thing. That is a floating city. I mean, it's the best bang for your buck. It's,
yeah.
yeah, but I get it. People get kind of burnt out. They're tired of being me. I don't know how you could get burnt out for that. That's why blues or dolphins are always in my logo, normally my backgrounds. Of course, this time I switched to the Eagles, but I
Yeah.
have always been attracted to that, and I love the Caribbean blue water.
Yes,
There's
yes.
just
Well,
always
you're
something so
wearing blue.
calming and relaxing listening to water. So,
It is. Well, you're wearing blue, so blue looks beautiful on you. And then the blue background, in your background. I don't know if you would also, I would love if you would share about the quilt behind you.
oh, so yes, so the I do belong to the Veterans of the Ozarks in Missouri. I moved to Missouri 3 years ago from Colorado, and unbeknownst to me, the ladies from the Quilt of Honor put together this quilt for my service in the Air Force. I was an aircraft electrician, so I wired F-15s and F-16s. That's how I met my husband. My husband was Air Force, and so was my father. And I always loved Eagles. I did not tell them anything about me or about my show or anything. So whether it had to do blue for Air Force or whatever, but they came up with this and I'm like, okay, I can't even tell you how much that fits my office because my whole office is painted like a Caribbean blue
Yeah,
color.
yeah,
So
yeah. And the fact that that's now your background is just absolutely stunning.
thank you. I started season 10 for the show, so I swapped it out. Normally, you will see me swimming with Electra because I did a deep water swim with the dolphins in Atlantis. So I normally have me a picture of me with the dolphin and like in the background, because that's why the dolphins are in my logo. I've always been attracted to
Oh,
them.
love
But so yeah.
Love it, love it. And talk about interconnection. I mean, the animals, like when somebody, I saw this story not too long ago that I think it was there was somebody diving and there was a pod of dolphins that was surrounding the diver because they knew there was maybe a shark or something else, but it was like they stayed and protected, and animals, I mean, we're all, like you were saying, we're all energetically connected. We're all really, really good at heart,
Mhm.
truly.
Yeah, and dolphins just they are very intelligent animals. They're team players. They're very playful. They're protective. They're really cool. I'm so glad I never liked slimy fish being. I love swimming. I love being in the water, but I didn't want slimy fish on me. So I was just like, I'm gonna do this. And it's like, you know what? It was such a beautiful experience. They're like a soft leather coat. They're the
I was
most
going to say, we're
gentle.
not slimy.
No, they're not. It's like rubbing soft leather, and
Yes,
and
it
they
is.
love being rubbed because it helps get all the dead skin off of them, and they're just beautiful animals. I've heard of ones that have circled around a woman because she was pregnant. So
Wow.
it's like they could actually sense and kind of communicate with the fetus. So
Wow.
it's just it's frequencies, it's vibrations. If you put
Yeah.
off a certain frequency or vibration, you'd
Yeah.
be amazed at what you can attract.
Yes, exactly, exactly, exactly. Well, you are such a love bug and such a delight. I really appreciate you being here. I appreciate you being part of Love Revolution. I am so just delighted and indebted to you for all the work that you're doing. So thank you so much.
Oh, thank you for having me. It was a pleasure. I'm glad we got connected.
Me too, me too. No, Emmy, thank you, thank you, thank you for connecting us. No, Emmy Barris is our mutual connection and she's amazing. So if you're looking to get on more podcasts, no, Emmy is the person to do it. And y'all go check out Laura's show. I know I'm super excited to check it out. And thank you for all the Love Revolution beloveds who have been here, who watch every episode. So thankful for each one of you. And Laura, thank you again for being here.
Thank you for having me.
All right, love. See y'all next time. Appreciate y'all. Bye bye.
Bye bye.